Hello, friends. We have our second last live today. It is our grounded hip groove we're going to be getting into right now. So, of course, with that, because we're going to be on the ground, please be mindful of your knees and wrists. Remember, you can roll up your mat, grab a pillow, blanket, anything like that to give your knees and joints a little bit of a cushion if they need it. We are going to potentially want yoga blocks. That will be optional, but of course you may want them. So we'll get into it. And before I do, I want to remind you, my Black Friday sale is live. So you can check out the annual membership to the garden because that is not something I normally offer. Check it out because it has some goodies like a 45-minute assessment and access to split it into so you can get your hips healing real good. So definitely check that out. But first, let's get into this class. Remember, listening to your body, never pushing into pain. And because of copyright, we have no music playing, so feel free to put on your own. All right, so we're going to get started. I actually am going to show you the first move standing because we're going to do this in tabletop. But if you know your knees are like not going to have it, I want to show you the version standing. All right, so let me come on back here and get into it. There's a nice little hip warm up for us. We've done it in one of our other classes. We're going to find balance on one leg, bring your knee out and in. And you can bring your foot down if you'd like, or just keep it up, keep it going. And of course, we are going to go in both directions. So that is the movement if you don't want to do it in tabletop, but there's that. But I'm going to come down to tabletop to show you how it is. So let's come on down. Of course, if you're doing the standing version like I just showed you, feel free to get into it. So I'm going to bring one knee up, open it out to the side. Because I'm in tabletop, I'm going to really try and pull my knee towards my armpit, bring it down, and again. Okay. Finding your balance. Make sure your fingers are nice and wide here. Good. We're going to switch directions. So then I'm going to pull my knee up, out, and back. Breathing deeply, of course. Good. You can bring it down. Give yourself a moment. We're going to switch directions. So, bringing the knee up, bringing it out to the side, pulling it in, down and around. Trying to be nice and intentional with these movements. Last one, and we switch directions, pulling it in, out to the side and back. Good. Let's do one more. Bring it down. All right. I'm thinking, what order do we want to do this in? Let's do it, since we're already in a kneeling position. Let's bring one foot forward. We're going to do a kneeling lunge or a low lunge. We're going to bring one foot forward. We'll note you can have your blocks here if you'd like. But I am going to start kind of in a 90-90 position to kind of see where my body's feeling. Curl my tailbone in. I'm going to feel my hip flexor muscles in the front of the back thigh open up. And I'm going to start pushing my hips kind of down, a little ramp. Now, of course, my knee is going pretty far past my ankle. I want to note that's totally fine. But I want to get a little bit more work into my quad. So I'm actually going to come up, step my front foot forward, and go back into it. All right. So we can have our hands down to the ground or to blocks if we would like. We can have it more upright, get a little bit more into the hip flexor. We also have the option of tucking our back toes, lifting up, okay? So you can do this if you wanted to, get a little bit more strength in it, but it's the morning and I don't really want to do that right now. So I'm gonna stay in this kneeling position. We're making sure our glutes are engaged, our thighs are squeezing as if our legs could whoop, come together. And we're breathing nice and deeply here. So we are going to do a move we did a few days ago, which is our half split. So I'm going to start straightening out my front leg. And again, I don't have to have it fully straight. I can keep a soft bend in it if I'd prefer. I can bring my hands down to the ground. I can keep them to my hip. And of course, the further I walk my hands out, the more of a stretch. And less of a stretch, the more I bring them towards my hip. So I am pulling my tailbone up to the sky here, letting my chest come forward where it feels good. Breathing deeply, finding that nice stretch in the back of the leg. Now, if you want, this is totally optional, you can flex and point your toes. It does become a little of a nerve floss, so it will feel a little different, but it does get into the muscles as well, of course. And that's an option. The other option, since we're hanging out here, is internally and externally rotating your foot. So kind of like that boat motion we did in the ankle movement. You just go side to side, rotating our whole leg. That'll change the stretch a bit too. But remember, you don't have to do any of that. You can just hold it. And we're going to for another 3, 2, 1. I bring my hands on the inside of my foot, slide my foot around and back, and we're going to switch legs. So other foot forward. I know I'm going to want to go a little bit wider into my stance, so I have my foot much forward than just 90-90. Curling the tailbone in. I start sinking it down. Think of a nice little ramp coming down nice and slow, controlled. You're holding everything. All the muscles are engaging. You're not just dumping into it. All right, you can have your hands down or up. You can tuck your back foot, come on up. That's up to you. But we're gonna hold here and breathe for a little bit. Just kind of feeling into our hips, how they're feeling with this kind of extension movement for the back hip, flexion for the front hip. Good. You want to go a little bit deeper. If it feels good, you're of course welcome to. Good. All right, we're going to turn it into the half split. So we're going to push our butt back, straighten the front knee only as much as it feels good. Hands can be to the ground or to our blocks. We can also have it to our hips. Okay. Tailbone to the sky. Remember, reaching forward more of a stretch, bringing it back, less of a stretch. Breathing deeply. And if you want to add those little movements like we did before, maybe the point and flex, or that little rotation of side to side. Super small movements for both of them. But just kind of change the sensations in the leg. So do what feels good, or just hang out. You don't gotta do anything. We'll hold for another 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands on the inside, sweep the leg around. Come sit on your bum. Let's actually do a nice little hip mobility piece here. Now, I'm going to turn to the side here, and I'm going to bring my legs into a 90-90. So front leg, 90 degrees, back leg, 90 degrees. If this doesn't feel great, bring the feet in, bring it more of a 45-45, yeah? But what we're going to do, I will say from the bat, we're allowed putting our outside hand down beside our hip, okay? Especially if we haven't done this before, we may find we're gonna need it, to have your hand to a block. But if you've done this before, you can just have your hands in front of you. We're gonna lift the back leg up, bring it forward, bring it down, and we go again. Bring it up, bring it around. Yeah? A lot of work in the outer hip here. Because of time, we're just gonna do 3 more. Okay, so 4 total. When you're ready, lift up, bring it forward, bring it back, bring it down. Okay. Of course, if your foot glides across the ground like mine just did, that's totally fine. Last one. Perfect. Bring it down. I'm gonna let my knees come up. Switch sides. I'm gonna scoot back though. I have limited space on this mat. All right. Coming in to our 90-90 or 40-40, whatever feels better. Remember, we can have the back hand to the ground, so we're a little bit of a lean. It's going to make it a little bit easier for us. You can also have a block underneath your hand. We're going for 4 of these, okay? Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, let's get into it. Good. 2. 3. 1 more. Good. Bring it down. Let's bring our legs into a wide straddle, a wide V shape. So remember, for a straddle, when we fold forward, our tailbone reaches behind us. So you can always just kind of play around here, tucking and tilting your tailbone. If this isn't a move you often do, it may feel a little sticky, like it's not even moving. That's okay. I want you to think of cat-cow. That's kind of the movement happening in our hips. We're going into a posterior tilt, anterior tilt. Which ones are they? I don't remember. It's fine. Tilt and tuck. All right. We're going to do our lateral flow first, though. So hand in front of us, other hand up, take an inhale. Exhale, turn into a side bend. Breathe and hold. Slowly turn your torso heart to knee. Make sure the back hip is down. Folding forward, hands wherever it feels good. Again, heart to knee, not nose to knee. We want to keep our spine straight-ish. Yeah? And slowly come center. This is where we think of that pelvic tilt. So it's pulling away from us. We can slowly fold forward. Only where it feels good. We're not holding it a long time, so don't worry about trying to go really deep here. And let's move to the other leg, heart to knee. Again, if you got a belly in the way, you can adjust to how it feels good. And remember, my friends, my Black Friday sale is on. So if these movements have been feeling good to you, you're definitely going to want to check out the garden. But let's move on to our final side bend here. Nice deep breath. Bring the arm up and down. Bring your legs in just a gentle butterfly diamond shape. Give them a little bounce. Good. Bring your arms up overhead. Nice big inhale. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale it up. Exhale down. That brings us to the end of our grounded hip groove. So I hope your hips are feeling nice and juicy. Let me come on back over there. Of course, remember at 7 p.m., or sorry, no, it's at 6 p.m. tonight. It is an hour earlier. Our final class is an hour earlier tonight. I can't forget that. Our final class is an hour earlier, and we're doing a relax and release. Now, for that, you definitely want a thick pillow or two, or if you have a bolster, that'll be great. Lot of relaxing moves for that one. It'll be so nice. What a wonderful way to end off 1-2 flex. You'll really enjoy it because I know I will too. But until then, make sure you check out my Black Friday sale. It's happening over at flexibilitywithvera.com. You'll see a little banner that says Black Friday. Click on that. But drink some water, get some rest, and I will see you tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern.